So, if you guys pay attention to Riot news, stuff like Ask Riot, Champion Insights, etc., you'll know they recently posted a new Ask Riot. It talks about a couple things that are, how do I say, controversial? I'm not sure if that's entirely the right word, but it's the word I'm going with. By a couple things, though, I really just mean one thing, but let me sum up what was talked about in the Ask Riot that was posted recently. Maybe you'll want to read it for yourself. There will be a link down below to the Ask Riot. In this Ask Riot, they talk about the Aatrox VGU, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. They talk about why most skins are part of a theme, and champs don't get specific skins for themselves anymore. Like, you'll notice that a bunch of skin lines are coming out. That's basically what they mean when they ask that question. And they update us about the VGU poll that they started last week, I think. They do say voting is almost complete. So, that's neat. There's your synopsis. If you want to read the whole thing, link down below, like I said. Now let's get into the real talk. Aatrox VGU. I want to make one thing clear before I get angry. I like the Aatrox we have now. If I didn't, I wouldn't have 1,000,000 mastery points on him, which I just got a couple days ago. Finally. If they were to get rid of the Aatrox we have now and replace him with the old one, I would be happy, but at the same time I would be sad. Because I miss old Aatrox, but at the same time I like the Aatrox we have. It would be very conflicting. Okay, so the question that was asked that brought up the Aatrox VGU. What is one experience with creating or reworking a champion that led to a drastic change in how all champions were handled? Long question, but a good question. Riot goes on to say, I'm going to paraphrase most of the things, and I'm only going to do quotes when it's absolutely necessary or when I can't paraphrase. Okay? So, Riot goes on to say that the Aatrox VGU changed the way they handled all VGUs. Which, neat. And they go on to explain their goals with champion creation and champion updates. One goal is player engagement, which used to be their primary goal when making a champion or visually updating a champion. What that means is they basically want lots of people to play that champion. They want players to be engaged with it. They want players to have fun with them. Which I believe this goal is also why a lot in the past champions have come out broken and way overtuned, because they want people to play the champion. But they finally realized a couple champions ago, maybe a bit more, that making a champion broken on release is not a good idea. They also say that they sometimes create champions who they know will be niche, but hope they have a dedicated fan base, which I'm not saying that old Aatrox fit that, but you know. Another goal for visual game updates was building player trust. This was a secondary goal and not their primary goal with VGUs, however. The way that I would describe this is that they take a champion and update their abilities to be more fitting for the current game. Something like Poppy would be a good example. You kept her charge, she pretty much kept her Q. I think changed W a bit, And the only thing they really changed was her ult. So that would be like a perfect example. Yeah, just an update to their abilities to be more fitting for the current game. Keeping them largely the same gameplay wise, but with a bit more spice, rather than taking a champion, scrapping everything, throwing it into the garbage bin, and building it from the ground up. Sure don't know what that's like. Correct me if I'm wrong, or debate me if you think differently on what you think building player trust means. That's just my interpretation of it. I think it's correct, based on what I read. Because their main goal before was player engagement, Riot would sometimes make choices that make champions more fun and engaging for more people. So more people play that champion, and sacrifice the original playstyle of the champion. You can see this in a couple of reworks pre-Aatrox rework, such as the Galio rework, Doric rework, Rengar, Tark, Forgot. I could go on, but I'll stop there. All of those champions, in my eyes, and I've heard a lot of other people's eyes, that the gameplay style for those champions was changed, and it didn't fit with the old champion, but they are more engaging, so they have more players now. But old players are like, eh. After the Aatrox rework, however, and the backlash they received from it, which, by the way, I do want to talk about that backlash, but that'll be at the end, after I talk about all the Ask Riot stuff. After the backlash received from the Aatrox rework, they swapped the primary and secondary goal. So the primary goal was driving player engagement, but now the primary goal is building player trust, while the secondary is driving player engagement. This is good. That means champion kits will not be scrapped, thrown in the garbage, and built from the ground up. We can see this from the Mundo rework. From what we've seen of the Mundo rework, it seems like they're keeping him gameplay-wise, thematically the same. It's just a freshening up of his kit. This is good. I'm happy that they changed. I'm just sad that it happened after my champion got reworked. Why couldn't it have happened before? With Aatrox's update, this is a quote, ended up with a champion with a much higher play rate amongst a dedicated player base, which basically means more people started playing Aatrox and more people were maining Aatrox. Which, cool for those guys. But me and others had their favorite character taken away. It's cool and all. And they even considered it a success, because during the Aatrox rework, their primary goal was player engagement. So having more players play Aatrox was like, hey, we succeeded. We did it. That's a load of... I don't want to curse in this video. Fill in the blank. I am just going to read out the rest of the paragraph for you guys because I can't paraphrase this properly. However, the new engagement came at the cost of alienating a lot of old Aatrox players. That's me! And a lot of others. It also made many players afraid for their champions to get a visual game update, in fear that we changed them so far from what they love, they wouldn't love them anymore. I've had that happen to me 3 times. Galio, Yorick, and Aatrox. I don't play Galio anymore. I don't play Yorick anymore. I used to play those 2 a lot. I still play Aatrox. Fun. I still like him. I'm not entirely sure what my point is with making this video. Maybe just to vent my frustrations? Maybe I just want to talk about it? I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I made it. Better than doing nothing, I think. Yeah. Also, I just want to say, as a closing statement, closing, like, ask, favor, like, Riot, favor, please, do me. Can you please, for the love of God, buff Aatrox's W? It is so bad. Please, Riot. But anyway, that's it. If you sat through 11.5 minutes of me ranting, me talking, thank you. I appreciate it. These long talks don't usually happen a lot. Sometimes. They happen sometimes, but not a lot. Post a lot of Aatrox content. If you're interested in that, like, subscribe. I don't know, comment if you want. Go check out my other content if you like Aatrox, if you like League of Legends. Now, if you want to hear about the reason for the backlash, well, keep watching. If not, you can leave if you want to. Now then, let's go back to that outlash. So, in patch 7.5, they changed Aatrox, they updated him. Just a mini update to his Bloodwell and changes to his numbers. Patch 7.5 is about a full year prior to his VGU, and Riot released this update saying something along the lines of, we want to give Aatrox a VGU to make him healthier, but until then, here's some changes to put him in a balanceable state where we can tweak his numbers. Again, this is just the way I see it. If you want to see what they actually said, I'll have a link below down to the patch notes of 7.5 so you can look at it if you want. These changes that they made to him, however, broke him. All of the changes made were buffs to his numbers, except for blood price damage, that was reduced, but everything else was increased. And they also got rid of his percentage health costs. The only health cost he had was a flat health cost on E, which was not enough. It gave Aatrox more room to act. They should have kept the health costs. If they kept the health costs, he would have been perfectly fine. Because Blood Rush, his Bloodwell passive, was strong. Really strong. Now, if you've played League for any amount of time, you know what happens when something is broken. People flock to that character. Flavor of the Month players. This is also why when someone says, hey, I miss old Aatrox, they're usually greeted with, hey, you only played him in the time period that he was broken. Shut up. You can see this in my other video, I Miss Old Aatrox, funny meme video. Go to that video, look at all the comments. There's a lot of people saying negative comments, like yada yada, being all like, most of the backlash is from those that only played Aatrox during his broken state. And like, that was like a full year, guys. It was a full year of people playing Aatrox. That's a long time. That's enough time to love a champ. That's enough time to like get 1,000,000 points if they just started playing him, if they play enough. If I played more League, I might have 2,000,000 points by now. But I don't play League that often. I don't play League a lot. This artificially increased Aatrox's player base, which was their goal, I believe. But the issue is that he was broken, so a lot more people came than I think they might have expected. But this is the really funny part for me. Like, if they hadn't touched Aatrox at all before they gave him a VGU, there would not have been as much backlash because there would not have been as many Aatrox players. But because they changed him and made him good, broken, there were more Aatrox players, so more people fell in love with Aatrox. So once they changed him drastically, there was backlash. A lot more than there probably would have been if they hadn't touched him. I find that funny. Still sad. Anyway, that's it. That's the way I see the backlash. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good night or day, depending on what time it is for you when you watch this. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. Peace out.